And so this is the off position right here. They do have something marked on the handle. I'm turning it to the on position. And when you open up a gas cylinder valve, you go all the ways open. I mean, you turn it all the ways till it stops.
Oh, okay.
Not halfways, because there's actually a seat on the back side. So as you turn it out, it's actually seating on the back side of that. Okay, so
Okay.
it's either all the ways closed or all the ways on.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you turn this on. That's step one. Step two will be turn this on.
Yep.
So the arrow points to LPG. Okay. Step three, come over here, turn this on. Step four,
What does that say?
battery
on.
switch. Step four, you're going to start it. Here we go. It's going to make some noise. Turn the valve off. It's not going to shut off any other way. They do that to make sure you turn the fuel off. They don't give you any other options that shut this thing off.
So when you say turn the fuel off,
Got it.
It's going to be this right here. So in
So from vertical to horizontal.
yep.
to
So
turn it off, you need to do what? Again, I didn't get that.
it'll be in this position. Let's
Okay.
start it again. We'll review that.
Okay, it's in that position. Then
Now
it's
we're going to
that.
start it.
We just do that,
So well, let me back up and get this
You
on
turn
the
those two off too.
and then
Yes.
then turn
What if you
these,
don't turn them?
then
You're-
turn
You
these
blow up
two
the
off.
thing?
yes. This is very important.
Okay.
You turn those off because here's the reason why. If you don't do it, your battery's going to be dead next time you need this machine.
Got it.
Got it. So
Okay.
it's basically turn this off first, then which switch off
No,
first?
you turn this off, battery off first. The start you turn off, and then you turn off the gas.
Yep.
Oh, so you turn the
You can turn these off first and then go ahead and turn this off.
gotcha,
Okay?
gotcha.
Does
Yeah.
it matter what order you turn those two
No.
off?
No. No, it's not too complicated there.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Now, so that's your starting. Okay, now I pointed out, I had my finger down
Yeah,
here and
what
I was
does that
going like
number mean?
this. That's your voltage output.
It's
Okay?
not that much.
200, well, your house runs off 240, so you're running, that
Okay.
number was 253. Okay, and that's okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
voltage output isn't the same as watts.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct. Watts is different than voltage output, and you're going to want to know. Now, I'm going to show you guys some things here. This is actually a nice little controller here, and you see how it says voltage, hertz, and hours? Okay, well, actually it says V, H, Z, and H.
Mm-hmm.
That stands for voltage. Okay, this stands for hertz. Okay, this stands for hours. So it's going to tell you how many hours on this machine. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start it, and then I'm going to scroll through that.
In is out. V, H,
HZ,
H, Z.
yep, and H
And-
on the bottom.
H is, okay. Me and my eyes.
So I'm going to start it, okay?
Okay.
Again, to start it, I'm going to click on, turn this to that position. Start it up. Zero, because it's brand new.
Oh, so it's not hours left, it's hours used.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's brand new. So,
Okay.
okay, so why is this important? It's important because it's before you send the power out to your house, you want to verify that
Uh,
those numbers are good before you actually send it that direction. Okay, it's just a good verification. So, what is good? Well, you see 248. 248 is fine. It's a little high, but it's not bad. Okay. If you start getting up around 260, 270 volts, you better not use it. Okay. If you get down to 200 and 210, maybe 200 on that number, you better not use the generator. Okay, you're going to
So,
damage something.
200 or 210 to 2.
So ideally, let's say 210.
That's too low.
210 to we'll say 255. 210 to 255, you're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Anything higher than that, those numbers, or lower than those numbers, you got a problem.
What pushes it up or pushes it down? What makes it give a problem?
Typically, engine speed does that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how do you know what your engine speed is? Well, you know that because the second number that came up, hertz,
Mm-hmm.
it said 61.8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ideal is 60, and we go as high as 63 in the field
Okay.
and as low as 58.
Well,
So,
is this thing that the up and down of these numbers is determined by what?
engine speed,
Yeah, but the engine speed is determined by what?
The squirrels inside.
the governor inside inside the engine.
Oh, so if the thing
Determines.
is breaking down
If
or
it's
something
breaking
like
down.
that. Gotcha.
It's breaking down.
I just want to know the
Or
reason.
you got some sort of. It doesn't have to be a
Something's wrong with the
mechanical problem. It
generator.
doesn't have to be a
Right.
mechanical problem. It could be. You could be. Maybe don't have a lot of fuel in there. You might be empty. You might have
Mhm.
a plugged air filter. You might have a mechanical problem with the engine. You know,
Right.
there's things that could cause it.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, you don't want to cause $4,000 worth of damage in your house because you have so many electronics in that house now.
Right.
If you brown out the house or spike it, you're going to blow up those boards inside that house.
Okay.
Okay, so it's important that you pay attention to the voltage and the engine speed, which is this one is now the reason why it's at 61 is because when you throw the load on it, it's going to drag it down to
Right.
60. Okay, and 60 is where we want to be. But
Okay.
you don't get too anxious about all that.
Not too
Just when you
anal.
fire it up, and before you send the power to the house, verify that your voltage is good. Okay, and verify that the engine speed is good. Okay,
Okay.
and then you're good. Usually you're good to go to send it down to the house.
And how do you verify it again? You push those.
You're going to be looking at this, and the first thing that's going to come up when you turn the machine on is going to be your voltage, which is this one
Right.
turned out to 248. Then once that voltage is good and stable, because you'll notice when we turned it on, it went to like 70,
Yeah,
and then it went to
kinda.
170, and then finally got up to 250 something, and then it fell back to 248. So what you're supposed to be doing here is you turn it on and you let it stabilize. Okay, so you're going to stand here for 5 or 10 seconds, and you're going to watch it, and you're like, okay, finally it's at 248. Then you're going to bend down there. You're going to hit that little button. You're going to look at the hertz.
The little white button.
Yeah, the little white button right there. You're going to look at the hertz, okay? And then that hertz is going to, when you push that
This
button,
button here. Okay.
when you push that button, it's going to drop down to the second position, which is hertz, and it's going to say approximately 61.
And then you'll be okay.
You're going to be okay. But if it's 62, don't get anxious. It's at 59, don't get too anxious. But once you put the load on it, which is going to happen right here, again, you're going to back up and you're going to look at it and you're going to look at it again before you go back into the house. You're going to verify that your numbers are still good, okay? Because once you apply that load, okay, things will, if you have a mechanical problem, a generator runs great with no load on it, okay?
Yeah.
But when you can throw a load on a generator and all of a sudden the thing just goes crazy on you, okay? So what you're trying to do here is you're verifying that everything looks good initially when you first start. Then after you apply the load, you want to verify that it's good again. Because once you apply that load, this thing may go crazy on you. You can immediately come over here, go back to the original position, get the load off of the house, okay, before you damage something. A lot of times when boards burn up and boards get damaged in the house, it's because it's been browning out for seconds.
Right.
Okay, you've seen it where the lights are dimming and everything else, and you're like, oh my God, you know darn well that's not good for your house when that happens. Okay, but when you apply this load, you're not going to be in a position where you can watch your house. You need to be out here paying attention to that electronic gauge.
So it kind of sounds to me like if we lose power and it's been out, I mean, we're not going to go turn this on unless it looks like it's going to be out for a long
Right.
time.
Right.
We turn off everything first
Yes.
before we do it. I mean,
You can do that.
turn off the computer, turn off
You-
the strips.
You can do
you
that.
know.
You can do that to a degree, because here you don't know when the power is going to go out. First of
Right.
all, okay, so you'll be sitting there, and the power goes out. You're like, oh, okay, so the power's out. You're sitting there watching, wondering what's happening. You know, most of the time it sort of flickers and then comes back on.
Right.
But you're going to have cases where that's not going to happen. So you're
Right.
going to sit there. Because of the setup that you have, you might sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and not do a thing.
Right.
Okay, just waiting. You may decide to call PG&E, find out
That's
what's going
typically
on.
what we do.
So you're going
yeah.
to sit there. Now, in the process of that, you don't really know what's on and off at this point anymore. That was
Right.
5 or 10 minutes ago.
Right.
Okay, you can walk around and you can look at a light switch maybe, but who cares about the lights? You know your TV's not going to start again until you walk up there and push it. You know your cable boxes aren't going to do that. You got to really, once you turn your cable boxes off and your TV off, you have to actually initiate that.
Okay.
Your washer and dryer, you got to go back. Washers will sometimes start again. Dryers typically, especially gas dryers,
Right,
don't
which we've
typically
got.
don't start again until you walk up and you push a button.
Right.
So there's certain things that are going to shut off automatically. Now, if you're concerned about things and you can't protect yourself, against everything in there, but
Right.
you could make sure your computers are off.
Yeah.
But there's a computer board in literally everything now.
these days,
Okay,
right.
so you're not going to really walk around and
Yeah.
I'm going to turn off my refrigerator.
Right,
Well,
no.
you're just going to go with it. That's what we're
Yeah.
we're going to see that for ourselves today when
Right.
we go onto this generator. Okay, all right. So at some point here, you're just going to go, okay, I got to go out here and do this, and that's going to be the procedure. You might turn off things in the house. You might think about that, but you're going to commit to it, and then you're going to come out here and you're going to follow.
So
these
if you call
procedures.
PG&E and they say it's going to be out for 5 hours
Mhm.
or 7 hours, do we have to go around and check things? Is it
honestly,
necessary to check things?
honestly, once we do this test today, okay, we get on this generator. You guys are going to go in the house. You're going to walk around. You're going to do your thing in the house. You're going to check everything, your refrigerator and a few things like that. You're going to turn on some lights. Okay, you're going to do that. The answer to your question, honestly, if it was my setup, I would just come out here and fire the thing up, throw the handle, and go with it.
All right. So so you'd wait for 5 minutes, you wait for 10 minutes, you call PG&E,
I might,
And-
yep, exactly. I might put that much effort into it because,
and then
again, this is a noisemaker.
Yeah.
Right.
That's and our neighbor.
Yep. So
Isn't
people are going to be
excited about it as well.
very, and people are
Yeah.
very funny when you're sitting on with your lights on and they're
Right.
sitting in the dark.
Right.
Okay. The best thing you can do is if you have a neighbor that is like that, best thing to do, plug in an extension cord, flip it over the fence, and go,
Right.
hey, buddy, here's some power for you.
Right.
And then that problem suddenly goes away.
Yeah.
Okay.
can we do that with this?
Absolutely, you're powering up the whole place. So you can go off of this, okay, throw it over there. You can, if you have a plug down below somewhere that you might have, you can go off of that and flip it over to
Oh,
it. Okay, the house is gonna be powered up, or you can actually just go right off of this.
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a good option to keep the busy body, the person that gets upset over things, to keep them under control, because they will take your power. Okay.
Well, that's another question we have. Hold on, let me